Coco Pommel then went to this hotel where Rarity stayed. She knocked on the door. "Rarity, I need to talk to you. Please, it's urgent," said Coco Pommel. Rarity opened the door. She was calm, but she could see that Coco was a little bit scared or, well, hesitated or something. "Come in. What is it?" Coco Pommel was silent for a moment and then turned around and she said just right out, "Flash had asked me out." Rarity was just silent and then just happy about it. She smiled. "But that's great." "Yeah, but I'm terrified." "Why?" "I thought you liked Flash." "I do, but I haven't been on a date for the last couple of months, and I'm terrified if I do something wrong. And especially now where the fashion show is tomorrow, I'm terrified about something wrong would go on today or tomorrow." Coco took a deep breath and said like this, "Nothing will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong." Coco did take a deep breath and said, "Nothing will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong." There? Feels any better? Yeah, thanks. Now, listen. You shouldn't be worried about this. If something goes wrong, then it may happen. But please don't be terrified. They might go well as well. Thanks, Rarity. I needed that. Coco Pommel and Rarity talked to each other for at least another hour, and then it was time for her to leave. Coco Pommel was waiting outside the hotel, and then she saw Flash walking to her, and she was still terrified, but at the same time she was actually calm but terrified, but also happy. She couldn't decide what feeling she would be, terrified, happy, or scared. Also terrified but also happy. But then he smiled at her and all her fear was gone. She is now just happy. Flash took her to a local restaurant in nearby. And during their dinner, Flash told her something about his childhood and that before he joined this Royal Guard. And Coco Pommel, she used to laugh about his stories and jokes that she told her. "You really have a very nice, beautiful laugh," she said. "Thanks," she said back. They actually spent the most of the time at the restaurant. Flash let her order the food, and he let her even decide what dessert. After they left the restaurant, they took a stroll around the city. Flash just couldn't let his eyes off Coco Pommel and her as well. They both really liked each other, but at the same moment, they had fallen in love, deeply in love. Flash took her with her back to her hotel and said goodnight. Flash gave Coco Pommel a kiss on the cheek, and she said thanks for the date, and I really had a great time. "Same here," said Flash back. Flash then left, and Coco Pommel went back to her room. And she was so happy. She hadn't felt this happy in months. Early next day, Coco Pommel was wake up quite early since she had into Rome, had been co-host for this fashion show. Rarity was already there, and she even asked Coco how her date went with Flash, and she wanted to also know all details. Coco Pommel then tried to tell exactly how it went, and Rarity was just happy that it went well. She also asked, "Has he asked you out again?" And Coco just shook her head and said, "No. He might do it later, but now the show has to go on." Later in the afternoon, the show has just started, and Rarity and Coco Pommel was standing on the stage with everyone on the ponies just showing their dresses and suits, every kind of fashion you know designs. But then Coco Pommel could see in the public, in the audience, Flash in the front row. He was smiling at her, and she smiled back. And Rarity noticed that. But she didn't say anything, just smiled back at Coco, and she noticed as well. After the show was over, Flash remained. He went up to Coco Pommel, who was still on the stage talking to Rarity. When Rarity saw that he was walking up to her, she left so they could be alone. Coco Pommel, your show was, well, I'm not exactly for fashion, but you did a great work here. Thanks. Are you hungry or something? Anything? Yeah, long day. I can take you to a local restaurant nearby if you want. Sure, said Coco Pommel. So they went to this local restaurant and they talked and talked for almost, it felt like forever. By the same time when they were talking, Coco, there is one thing I want to ask you. Yes? Do you want to be my girlfriend? Coco Pommel was just taken aback. She was not prepared for that. And she said, "Yes, I want to." Just after they left the restaurant, they were just taking a stroll, but then another guard came up behind. "Flash! Flash! We need your help! Where is it? There's a fire near the town. We need help. And the fire department has other ponies. They couldn't help. They were out of staff. We need your help." "On the way," said Flash back. And Flash just fly away so fast as he could back to the location. And he could see that this building was fire. And there was a lot of ponies still trapped inside. Coco Pommel has managed to run after him and saw the burning house. Flash then dived right into the window. One of the windows was still open, right in the flames of fire. She was terrified to see her boyfriend just dive in right in the fire, but then suddenly, from another window, just like a lightning, Flash was flying out from another window, but carrying two children in his hooves. He fly down and fly back into the flame house and brought other ponies out. He flew at least 3 more times and brought other ponies out from the building. And she was, wow. She had heard her stories and from Rarity that Flash was really fast when he's flying. And she thought maybe she must understatement, but she was not wrong. Flash was just so fast she couldn't even notice that he was in and back from the burning house. After the fire was put out, a lot of the children was gradually thanked Flash for saving them. Even their parents was also there to say thanks. Even the fire department said, "Thank you, Flash. Without your help, those children wouldn't have make it. It is my honor as the Royal Guard and royal citizens of Crystal Empire to help. Flash then saw that Coco Pommel was staring at him. Coco, are you alright? Yeah, that was amazing. I didn't know it was so fast. I used to have stories about it. That is not half of it. I can't even fly faster. Well, not faster, it's Rainbow Dash, said Flash. Flash then asked if Coco wanted to stay with him at the Crystal Empire for a couple of days, since she had to remove back to Canterlot, since she's actually running at this one of the rarities boutiques there. And Coco said, I can stay a few days, but then I have to go back. Flash said, I understand, he said. For the next couple of days, Flash took her out to a restaurant, to the dance clubs, or anything like that. But on the last day, he took her to see a fireworks show. Flash and Coco Pommel, they spent a lot of time when she was in the Crystal Empire, and even he visited her in Canterlot on his personal leave. But after only 6 months, Flash felt that he had found his true love and he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. So the next time she was in Crystal Empire, he actually proposed to her, and she said yes immediately. She wanted to stay with him in Crystal Empire. So with the help of Rarity, they opened another boutique in Crystal Empire. The wedding itself was held in Crystal Empire, and Flash and Coco Pommel, they celebrated their honeymoon in Las Pegasus. They spent it there for about 2 weeks before they went back to Crystal Empire. But only a year after, Coco Pommel had a big surprise for Flash. She told him that he is going to be a father. And Flash was really surprised. He was not prepared to be a father so soon, but he was also proud, because a couple of months later, they had a son. And they named their son Strong Shield, and he actually inherited his father's bravery, speed, and even strength. Strong Shield, he was actually more prey pony, even sometimes played with his father's sword. Even his mother didn't like that. And Flash, well, he's told his son, no son, you not shouldn't play with my sword. You know that it's dangerous. You have to play with your own sword. But damn, I want to be brave as you. Yes, but be brave doesn't have to be play with your swords. You know that. I told you like 10,000 times already. When Strong Shield was older enough, he actually applied to be part of the Royal Guard. And he actually made it to be a Royal Guard. And he became captain of the Royal Guard after his father was retired. Flash and Coco Pommel, they were very proud of their son who became captain of the Royal Guard like his father. And Strong Shield, he actually met another mare in Crystal Empire, and she was actually a strong Pegasus member of the Royal Guard. And they had 2 sons as well, and their sons also became member of the Royal Guard. And that's how, when Coco Pommel and Flash Sentry found true love, the